For the conference in 2025, I happen to be one of the hosts. I'm a co-founder of the Dallas chapter for SDN, and over the last several years we've been building kind of our base, and we had this wild idea that we'd try to get the conference here in Dallas, and it worked out. We won the bid, and so that's the primary reason why I'm here, is I'm welcoming all of our attendees to Dallas. It's been fantastic, such an incredible group of folks. Passionate folks who've been part of the conference for many years, some who are new, just like us. So it's been great to work with them, build off of their learnings from previous conferences and accommodate feedback that we received from Helsinki and previous conferences. Try to build something fresh and new for everyone to come. Every time I've gone to a conference, I come back energized. I come back with some tidbit or some inspiration or some idea or a new connection or a new idea of way to do things. That's invaluable. You can't go out seeking for that. I think it happens organically when you're surrounded by peers or surrounded by leaders or folks that are maybe beyond in your skill set, and you can learn from them, or even some young folks who are coming in and have fresh ideas, new ideas, a way of doing things. I think it all comes back around. I don't think you get it as strong in a virtual setting as you do it in person. My entire career has been connected to networking. In some form or another. Every role that I've had throughout my career, there's been somebody somewhere who knew me or knew of me, vouched for me or connected me with the right people. So it's hard to do that if you're not getting out and meeting with people and making connections. So I think it's an incredible opportunity for folks to come and be with others. Yes, I have been for a bit as we've been running the chapter. Prior to that, I had a membership before I was part of a chapter. And I think it's valuable. Just again, having that connection back to a network of folks. Of course, the resources that are provided to members. And now with the new academy and the accreditation programs, I think that gives us some access to something that's much needed in design strategy, service design, any of the very thoughtful, deep digging practices of design. Having some accredited or legitimized learning platforms, I think, is really important for us. So coming in as a host for the conference this year, and also an MC, so we'll be on stage talking. It's kind of new for those of us in Dallas. We've facilitated smaller meetups, and we've done our online meetups for many years, and had some great success with that. But it's a different ball game when you're putting on a big conference, especially a hybrid conference, virtual, in-person folks. And so working with a team that's been doing this for a little bit, it was invaluable. They had a lot of learned lessons that they can share with us. Yeah, I think it's been fantastic working with the team and going back and forth, very collaborative. They've leaned on the local team quite a bit, partly due to the distance and working with local vendors here in Texas, but also just allowing us to bring some flavor, some of the Texas flavor to the event. So while they come in with a lot of knowledge and skills and processes and methods, very open also to working with us and building something that's uniquely ours. So it's been fantastic. I'm going to answer this in kind of phases of my understanding of service design through my introduction to it. Joining an organization that had already adopted some service design practice, and they were now scaling that out to many of the designers. And I was a design leader at the time, but found such a connection to the tools and the methods that it felt very natural to me to lean into it. So the beginning of my journey into SD, I recognized that there were tools and methods that allowed me to communicate things that were in my mind. Connections, looking across customer-focused things, but with a business lens in the belly of it, of really understanding how do these business choices and decisions and processes actually influence the customer experience, as opposed to just traditional like UX where we look at the touch point only. So that was my introduction, and I realized, it was a very powerful tool. As I got further into it and more mature with it, I started to recognize that it was more of an organizational kind of tool, where it was a capability or even a lens that you could turn inward into your own teams. How are your teams working? How's your business working together to deliver the things that they deliver? So it became kind of like a meta tool of, you could design the way that you design the customer experiences. And that's where it really blew up for me, that it became more of like a organizational transformation, and by result, business transformation. So way more than just tracking customer journeys, but actually digging into how is this company structured to do the things that we're here to do and deliver our mission or our value proposition. So that's where service design has kind of landed for me at this point. It's this bigger picture. Let's look at ourselves and let's design the way that we create the value that we bring. The earliest stages of your career are sometimes about figuring out what it is that you don't want to do, less about what you do want to do. And it's leaning into that learning mindset of just always being open to try something new and give it a go, see if it connects or not. The second part to that, though, is follow the energy. Wherever you find yourself constantly thinking about it, can't put it down, you want to try something new, or you're thirsty for a new tool or a new way of looking at things, or you're constantly researching things, follow that energy. Go where that goes. If it goes towards service design, absolutely. If it goes in another direction, go where that energy is. Because that will power you through the awkward moments of not being confident or competent in a space. You will learn your way into it better if you have that energy behind it. I think I'll root back to what we talked about earlier, the networking. The opportunity to get together with professionals in what is, at least here in the US, somewhat of a niche kind of skill set and specialty area or part of design. It's growing quite a bit. Not all of us have the title service designer. We're well aware of that here. But connecting with others, you start to see the commonality, the similar challenges, the ways of working, things that may have worked in other spaces that you might be able to apply. So again, this is such a rare opportunity to have folks from around the world who do a similar kind of thing and have attacked different kinds of problems and made their own tools or leveraged a new tool in a different way or those kind of things. Having those moments to talk with those people, you can't get that in any other forums. I am Christopher Robin Roberts, and I am the Director of Service Design for Baylor Scott & White Health, which is the largest nonprofit healthcare system in Texas. I highly recommend taking advantage of our RingCentral platform, where we have videos of all the talks from 2025. In the moment, you're listening, you're excited, you might be thinking about how that applies to your project, so having access to the videos is a great way to go back and double check on what something said, or if they shared a QR code or a screen that you want to look at again. Fantastic resource and a great perk for coming to the conference. Yeah, 2026, believe it or not, is right around the corner. I know it's a year away at this point when we're recording this, but go ahead and start making your plans. Another great thing to think about when planning for a conference in the next year is knowing when your company has budget for travel and when they have those conversations. So it may be an opportunity to go ahead and get some travel booked, or set aside some budget while you're in budget planning before the year comes around, so it's not a surprise and then you're ready to go.